but I owned a Sealyham for a number of years, and their pattern is short-legged terrier pattern, and it's kind of similar. And with her, I always pretty much hand stripped her, but there's always clipper areas that you do too. Same with the Scotties. We're going to, of course, clip the body pattern in, but we're going to combine it with hand stripping in certain areas to get a lot better look. Okay, so now can you tell me what blade was used on her the last time?
A 7.
It was a 7? Okay, so my preferred blade of choice is a 5. So here we're going to do some stripping to bring this down to show the lines, and then I guess we'll go over it with a 7, you know, but just to get you a little bit better idea of you know, the length and how it makes a difference. Okay, I'm gonna actually do, I think, one side, and then we can go back up and do the other side, or you can come up here and we can just team up on the other side. That's kind of what my plan is. We'll just see how the time goes. Okay?
Do you usually use the 5 on all of them, or is it the most common?
It's the 5. I like the 5 because you can use, even if you use that's one time I might use a 5 skip tooth, and then do the 5 and then work it in by thinning and stripping, and you get kind of a little, you know, more natural look. And so, yeah, for me it's the preferred length, but you know, what the owners want, of course, is primary, and it's you want to have it kind of blend really nicely. So a 5 gives you more opportunity to make differences, to make these muscles look bigger or to make this area shorter, whereas with a 7 or with a 10, it doesn't look as natural. Plus you're kind of stuck with what the body does for you. You know, you can't help the way they look, because the 7 goes right to what they got, right? So their profile overall is short-legged terrier, should be muscular in the rear. A lot of what Patty told you about Kierans and what they were used for, same thing for Scotties. Scotties are from, anybody? Scotland. That's a no-brainer, kinda. And when we do the pattern, we want it to show muscle up here, okay? We want it to show muscle and width in the rear. And there's different things we can do, just little things, little tricks that'll make it look better like that. And then where it's blended here should be a natural line. So we don't want to see a skirt line coming up. We want that to blend and fall. And so the dog himself is going to tell us where that line is. So in your book it might look like it's way up here, but if you put that line way up here on this dog, he's going to look super fat. Can you see why that would happen? You want it to be the natural line where the hair drops off the roll of the rib. Okay, now if we wanted him to look thinner, because he's a little heavy, you know, and I don't mean muscle, I mean he's a little thick. So if we wanted him to look thinner, what could you do with that skirt line that would help? Higher or lower?
Higher. When you bring it lower?
Lower, yeah, because you drop that line and you emphasize this muscle, drop this line here, and it's gonna, well, you can just tell, even putting my hand there, he looks skinnier already. Versus, let's say we have the line up dropping right here, he's gonna go out like a bell, okay? So where we put the line is gonna be in the forequarters. We're gonna follow the shoulder layback, okay? And I'll shave this, but I'll tell you what I'm gonna do first. So I'm gonna start with the neck. I'm gonna go shorter in the shoulder layback. I'm gonna actually go from the corner of the ear to the corner of the eye to the whisker nodule on the cheek area. Then we're gonna go down to the chest, which in the chest we make kind of a W. Have you ever been told about the W before? Okay, it's really using, again, their natural lines, but if you go to, you know, where the point of shoulder is, okay, that's where this shoulder layback comes out. This is the point of shoulder. Okay, so our neckline is going to come, we're going to go to point of shoulder, then we're going to go, so it's going to go from here to here, then it's going to go up to the breastbone, down to the other point of shoulder, and up the shoulder layback. So it'll be a W. But the way it's gonna look is a straight front. This hair will drop straight off. We don't wanna have a big chest like a Springer. Okay, does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, and the head is supposed to look long and cylindrical, not brick-like, and his head looks really wide, don't you think? So we're gonna do some things to make that head look a little more narrow, okay? Overall, for the head, the brows should be half the length of the muzzle, so we'll show you how to do that. The head, this, again, you can use a longer blade and strip it in. It should be, it's a little, to me, a little short right here. But a lot of groomers just take a 10 on that head from here back. I would suggest going a little bit longer. There's 100 right ways to do things, so the way I'm gonna show you is a way that you can have some play with the end profile of the dog and how it looks by leaving yourself a little more hair to strip down and thin in, okay? The biggest thing about Scotties that groomers get messed up with is the ears, okay? So if you understand how the ears are supposed to look and why you're leaving the tufts, it'll really help you to do it the way that looks best on the dog. So considering we want the head to be narrow, you don't want tufts out here because it's gonna widen the head, okay? And you don't want the ears to sit too low or too wide on the head. And so these tufts, if they're done properly, are gonna make that head look, that ear set look closer together. Okay, does that make sense? Should you have hair on the back of the ears or not on the back of the ears? I would say that the hair should actually, the tuft, there'll be some in front of the ear. It should be on the side of the ear, but not on the back of the ear, unless they have an ear that needs to be looking smaller where that would affect how the ear looks. Do you know what I mean? So for the most part, we're gonna go pretty clean on the back of the ear, but we're leaving this here, and then I'll show you how to trim this so that you get a nice tuft here. It's pretty good how it is, like you don't have any hair to speak of back here. So the ear should look pretty much on this part velvety and smooth, and then the tufts are gonna be in such a way, like he's got a divot right here, so it'd be nice to have a little bit there so that the ears look a little bit closer together. We're also gonna, I said go from corner of the ear to the corner of the eye, but we're gonna come up a little bit in here by the front of the ear, and that is gonna make that head look a little more narrow too. So we don't want a brick. Okay, a lot of groomers think we want a brick. No, we don't. We want, the beard is gonna make the cylinder, and what you're gonna do is gonna make that head appear narrow and cylindrical and go down this way. No other head like it with the ears and everything, so it's kind of fun. So I think I'm gonna start with the head so that you get that in for sure, okay?